Hi, I'm Klaus, and my talk is about emulation and emulation as a service. You have probably heard about that, but in particular, I want to promote emulation as a tool, as a conceptual tool, and as a technical tool in digital preservation. So, what can you do with emulation? First, and in my point, the most important point is contextualization. Describe and preserve object environments. When we use emulation as a tool, we don't care about the objects. The objects are just kept as they are. We care about their environments. So what we need to do is identify, define such environments and to cope with these environmental boundaries, like external services, expectation on external environments, and so on and so on. The second point is generalization. Decouple the environments from the lab computer or from the artist's computer or from a special setup. The goal is to run it everywhere. Once it runs in an emulator, in theory, it should run everywhere. Third point is preservation planning. Has always been a weak point in emulation. So prepare the environments to run forever. And finally, we use emulation for publication and access. So we have methods we will show you for citation of objects in context, which is a real prerequisite for peer review, verification, replication, and reuse. So what we do, I will talk about this in the demo session. That's the technical part of emulation as a service. That's the foundation layer of these concepts. So we give you emulation as a service, and you can do, and you think about the concepts and how you can apply it to your problems. The basic point with emulation as a service is you don't start with technology, you start with a working operating system. And we take care about that it runs. And it scales. I will talk about this in the session afterwards. Some examples. So the preservation of and access of inherited personal digital assets. You can cite it with HDL, for instance. You have simple browser-based access. It's embeddable and shareable like a YouTube video. You can do authentic redaction. What I mean with that, I can show you afterwards. Preservation and access to complex ebooks. In particular, the content protection. The user you can interact with the ebook, you can read it, but you cannot copy it because it runs on the server. It works like a Citrix screen. The preparation of custom environments. You start with an environment we provide you. It's just a plain operating system. Then you can upload software, ISOs, and modify and create what we call derivatives of these environments and tailor it to your needs. If all of you start from a common environment and just tailor it, we only have to find a single migration strategy for the future. So once it breaks, we find it for the base environment, and then we can apply it to all the derivatives you created. Yeah, access to digital objects in context. We like to keep the environment, the rendering environment, and the object separate. And what we do is we provide some metadata to link the object, a sizable metadata to link the object to the render environment. So you have, you can provide access to the user with a single HDL link, which brings both worlds together. And yeah, and we also do some web preservation things. So one part is the authentic client access. I showed an example for that from the QC's archive. But also what we also can do is preserve complex service setups. So we do not only reenact single machines, but also compound of networked machines, like client-server machine. So my time is up. If you want to visit the other demos, we have an online demo. It's semi-private because of all these IPR issues. You can access it here, it works. And if you stay here, you get a guided demo. So that's it. Thank you.